Hey y'all, it's Ink, and strap in because we are today talking about how the multiverse works. Yay! What enticed me to make this video? Well, something has been brought to my attention that people just, after watching tons of different theory videos, people just cannot manage to wrap their heads around the concept of how a multiverse works. A multiverse complex and a U system, a lot of things. People can't seem to wrap that around their heads. Let's talk about that because I'm bored. I have nothing else to do. Error is still in his room at, what? Is it 1 p.m.? What the heck? Everyone is either sleeping in, doing something else, or not in the house. So, I've got nothing to do. And I figured, why not talk about something that I'm an expert in? Also, so strap in, because this is going to be this is probably going to be more than one part. Also, warning, this video discusses space, time, continuums, the concept of timelines, universes, and introduces new terms for many different things involving a multiversal state that very few people will understand immediately. This video is not for the feeble-minded. I actually had to get a chair so I could sit down by my bedside and start talking about this. Okay. This is honestly too short of a chair. I would be taller standing up than sitting in this chair. I'm standing in the chair now, so. Yeah, I'm just doing this because I'm bored. Because, things get all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. And honestly, I think that the talking of times, how time works, and how time affects AUs in universes and stuff is an entire discussion all on its own. So part 1, we will be focusing on how AUs and other worlds are created and timelines and basically how time affects it. So, here we go. Let's get wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. I'm sorry, I can't stop with the Back to the Future references this time. But, okay. Let's start with identifying what time is, how time moves. Is it a circle? Is it a straight line? Is it a river? The most common and most intelligent explanation that I've seen it explained is it's an ocean in a raging storm. That's a good effort. It's all those things, but none of them at the same time. It doesn't fit any singular description, but the best description is of this, and this isn't perfect. It's like a tree. It branches out from one point to another, passing onward and virusing and just connecting and spreading out like a spanning tree. Or like a large lake that has many rivers off of it that form other large lakes that also have many rivers. It's like that. It's not exactly like a bubble map, a flow map, or or an actual family tree kind of thing, but it's the closest I can come to explaining it. Let's talk timelines now. So, an individual AU, a universe, is made up of multiple timelines. People use timeline and universe interchangeably. No. Want to know why? Well, we have the pacifist, neutral, and genocide routes timelines, not separate universes. Am I clear? So, and okay, to be clear, there's more than just those timelines in an AU. Thousands of timelines. So here's something. Multiverses and beyond are made up of multiple different infinite spaces. One timeline is one world. It will be an infinite space. One AU is an infinite space. One multiverse is a technically infinite space. One deltaverse. Let's go on to that new term. Deltaverse is a small collection of multiverses. Like, for example, if you were to group in, like, for example, you take all of these different multiverses from video games. That would be a deltaverse if you group them together. And then you have the hyperverse. Basically every single existence to ever exist. We're talking about mapping out multiple infinite spaces, so work with me here. Because, of course, it's not just the Earth or whatever planet you live on that is your universe. It's the spanning infinite space. So bear with me here, I'm trying. I don't know why I just went into, like, my creepy voice, what the heck. But there's more than just those 3 routes and the variations of neutral route. In AAU, there are other things. For example, let's take a classic timelining example. Let's take a look. We have the redemption route. What is that? That is one in which Chara is redeemed. That is valid as well. How do worlds spawn? Okay. They span out from one another, but at the same time they are created. It's everything at once. Existence is a complicated thing that I probably shouldn't be qualified to explain. It can span out in multiple different ways, and the way that a world is created is that it actually does physically branch outward from something else, and it's infinite. But for an actual AU in world to prosper and exist, someone must conceptualize it. That's how that works. It's really weird, and even I don't fully understand it. I want to discuss something right now. I want to say this right off the bat because we have like 2 more minutes left, and I want to get this out the way right now. Just because, okay, let's take all of us Sanses, for example. We are all separate entities, not variations. We are all separate people. We are individuals. We are actual, like, we're not a hive mind. We're not one entity. We're not variations of one entity. We are different people. I know a lot of people use the they're all the same person argument with shipping. No, we're actually not. We just share a name, an appearance, well, a very loosely based appearance, and a purpose or placement in the multiverse. Hell, by all logic, Blueberry should be considered a papyrus clone. But he's not. Yeah, we're all different, separate entities and beings, but we share the same placement in the multiverse. See what I mean? Timelines are when different effects from a starting point branch out and change. The starting point for most timelines that you see is Frisk falling into the underground. But these things have had future timeline branches before it. And that small branch is branching off into further branches. There are other branches that you haven't seen yet. It's infinite and it's complex. We will save the rest of it for later because I'm running low on battery time because it can only film for 10 minutes. But I will get back to you probably tomorrow. Either way, hope that you enjoyed this. Do you want more explanations? Because I can give them all day. Either way, see y'all. Bye. I hope you learned something.